Djibouti, a country you've probably never thought much about. With fewer than 1 million people and only the size of Massachusetts, it might not seem like much, but this tiny African nation plays a massive role in global politics. Djibouti sits at the crossroads of some of the world's most critical geopolitical and economic interests, earning it the title of a strategic goldmine. Djibouti's location is its biggest asset. It lies next to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a narrow waterway that connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. This strait is one of the world's busiest maritime choke points. Nearly 30% of the world's oil passes through here on its way from the Middle East to Europe, Asia, and beyond. That's why, if anything happens here, the entire world feels it. This choke point is part of a larger trade network that links the Suez Canal in Egypt to global shipping routes. As the world's dependence on oil and shipping grows, controlling this area has become a matter of global security. This is where Djibouti steps into the spotlight. Despite its small size, Djibouti hosts one of the most diverse military presences in the world. Countries like the United States, China, France, Japan, and others all have military bases in Djibouti. But why? Let's break it down. The United States operates its largest military base in Africa, Camp Lemonnier, right here in Djibouti. This base is crucial for launching military operations in East Africa and the Middle East, especially in counterterrorism efforts. It serves as a forward base for U.S. forces to deal with threats from groups like al-Shabaab in Somalia and other destabilizing forces in the region. China opened its first ever overseas military base in Djibouti in 2017, marking a significant moment in its global rise. While Beijing officially claims it's a logistic facility for peacekeeping missions, its strategic location gives China a foothold in one of the world's most critical maritime zones. This base allows China to protect its massive investments in Africa and secure its Belt and Road Initiative shipping routes. Meanwhile, France, the former colonial power, maintains a strong presence here, along with Japan, which uses its base for anti-piracy operations. The region is prone to piracy, especially off the coast of nearby Somalia, so controlling Djibouti helps ensure the safety of global shipping lanes. So, why are all these world powers competing for influence in Djibouti? It's simple. Controlling Djibouti means controlling access to some of the most important waters on the planet. This competition has turned Djibouti into a key player in the global chess game. China, in particular, has been pouring billions of dollars into infrastructure projects here. It's built roads, railways, and expanded the port of Djibouti, which connects landlocked Ethiopia to the rest of the world. Ethiopia, one of Africa's fastest growing economies, relies on Djibouti for 90% of its trade. China's investments are seen as part of its broader strategy to secure economic dominance in Africa. The Djibouti-Ethiopia Railway is another key project connecting Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, directly to the port. This rail link is not only vital for trade, but also a symbol of China's growing influence in Africa. Beijing's economic presence is felt in every corner of Djibouti, and this has raised concerns in the West. The United States and Europe are watching China's moves closely. They see Djibouti as a test case for how China plans to expand its global reach through its Belt and Road Initiative. The competition between the US and China for influence here is often seen as a microcosm of their broader global rivalry. Djibouti's government has skillfully balanced its relationships with these superpowers, turning its location into an economic advantage. By leasing military bases and attracting foreign investment, Djibouti has positioned itself as a regional hub for commerce and diplomacy. Djibouti's president Ismail Omar Guelleh has played a masterful game of diplomacy, maintaining friendly relations with both the West and China. This has allowed Djibouti to secure economic aid and infrastructure development, while keeping its options open in the geopolitical arena. But with all these foreign military forces operating so closely together, tensions can easily rise. the US and China in particular, are often competing for influence not just in Djibouti but across Africa. In 2018, the US accused China of using military-grade lasers to interfere with American pilots near Djibouti, sparking diplomatic protests. It's a sign of the growing rivalry between these two superpowers, who both want to control this region. While Djibouti remains peaceful, it sits at the center of a tense global standoff. The waters near Djibouti are patrolled by naval forces from around the world, all there to protect their economic interests and ensure that shipping routes remain open. From counterterrorism to anti-piracy, Djibouti plays a critical role in maintaining global security. It's not just about oil or trade. It's also about preventing conflicts and protecting the region from instability. The money generated from these military leases and investments has been used to transform Djibouti's economy, but the country still faces significant challenges. Despite its strategic importance, much of the population still struggles with poverty, unemployment, and limited access to services. Djibouti may be small, but its impact on the world is huge. It sits at the heart of global trade, military power, and international diplomacy. As the competition between global superpowers heats up, Djibouti will continue to be a key player in the world's future. Whether it's oil, trade, or military might, this tiny country has an outsized role on the global stage. Thanks for joining us on this journey to Djibouti. Hit that subscribe button for more hidden gems and global stories you won't find anywhere else.